My dear friends, tonight I want to share a truth that can change the way you live. It is simple, direct, and far more powerful than most people realize. It is this: the way you speak to yourself shapes the world you walk into. Not someday, not after years of struggle. Change can begin in just 3 days when your inner talk becomes clear, steady, and aligned with the life you want. I am not speaking about random mental noise, the restless chatter that fills most minds from morning to night. I mean the quiet conversation within, the one you choose on purpose, the one that carries feeling, belief, and identity. That inner speech is not small, it is not harmless, it is creative power in motion. What you keep saying inside becomes the atmosphere of your life outside. Listen closely, because this is where most people miss the whole secret. They talk inwardly from fear, from delay, from what they see, from what went wrong, and then they wonder why life keeps echoing the same conditions back to them. But when your inner conversation begins to rise from the state you want already fulfilled, everything starts shifting, slowly at first, then all at once. Stay with me, because if you truly understand this and practice it for only 3 days with sincerity, you will not remain the same person who began. The outer world will start answering a new voice, and that voice will be your own. The first thing you must understand is this: your inner conversation must come from the end, not from the middle of waiting. Do not speak to yourself as someone hoping, begging, or trying to get there. Speak to yourself as the person who is already there. That is the secret. If you want wealth, do not say, "I wish money would come." Speak inwardly as one whose life is already full, stable, supported, and overflowing. If you want health, do not keep repeating the story of weakness, pain, and fear. Speak as one who feels whole, strong, calm, and renewed. If you want love, do not keep telling yourself that you are unseen or forgotten. Speak as one who is valued, chosen, adored, and deeply connected. But hear this clearly: the words alone are not enough. They must feel natural. They must carry the quiet mood of reality. Forced words have little life in them. Empty lines repeated without feeling become noise. What gives the inner conversation power is the sense that it is already true. That is the turning point. When a person inwardly stands in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, their mental world begins to reorganize. And once the inner world changes, the outer world follows. Not because of luck, not because of chance, because life is always reflecting the dominant conversation held within. This is why 3 days matter. 3 steady days can start a chain of change you cannot fully see at first, but you will feel it, and once you feel it, you will know. So, how do you begin? You begin the moment you wake, before your eyes open fully, before the day rushes in, before old worries claim their usual seat in your mind. In that quiet first moment, speak from the life you choose. If you desire abundance, let your first inward words be filled with ease, gratitude, and certainty. I am so thankful for the rich and steady flow in my life. Everything supports me. Everything opens for me. If you desire peace and health, let your first inner tone be one of calm strength. My body is restoring itself. I feel light. I feel whole. I move through this day in balance. If you desire love, let your mind wake inside love. I am cherished, I am seen, I am surrounded by warmth and respect. Simple words, clear feeling, that is enough. And through the day, keep the same direction. Do not let passing events write your inner script for you. That is where most people lose their power. They let a delay become a story. They let one hard conversation become a whole identity. They let one bill, one symptom, one silence, one setback define the whole day. Do not do that. Guard your inner speech. If the world around you talks of lack, answer inwardly from fullness. If the world around you shows confusion, answer inwardly from order. If something goes wrong, do not crown it king. Return to your chosen state, fast, quietly, firmly. This one habit alone can change everything. And if you keep going, you will notice something beautiful. The day no longer controls your inner world. Your inner world begins to shape the day. Throughout these 3 days, you must become loyal to your inner dialogue as if it were sacred work, because it is. Every outer conversation begins as an inner one. Every reaction you have was first whispered inside. Every relationship you live through is being shaped by hidden mental scenes you repeat again and again. So if you change those scenes, you change the substance from which your experience is formed. That is not poetry, that is law. As you walk, let your inner talk match your fulfilled state. As you eat, let it match. As you work, let it match. As you rest, let it match. This does not mean constant strain. It does not mean endless effort. It means quiet consistency. It means that whenever you notice your thoughts, they are pointing in the same direction. When doubt speaks, do not argue with it for long. Revise it. If the old thought says, "This is not happening," answer at once, "Everything is moving into place for me now." If the old feeling says, "Nothing is changing," answer with calm certainty, "Change has already begun, and I am walking inside it." That is how you keep the pattern clean. Do not fight every shadow, turn on the light, that is enough. And remember this, because this matters more than most people think. Your last inner words before sleep are especially powerful. The mind softens, the deeper self listens. So fall asleep in the mood of your wish fulfilled. Let gratitude be the last taste in your mind. Let fulfilled identity be the final tone. The night will keep echoing what you impress upon it. Many people make one great mistake. They focus only on getting things, but they do not change the person within who receives them. Yet your inner conversation is not only about what you have, it is about who you are. If you want success, speak inwardly as a successful person thinks and feels. Not just someone trying to win, but someone who already carries the mind, steadiness, and self-respect of success. If you want abundance, speak as one who lives in enough, moves in enough, expects enough. If you want love, do not only imagine a relationship. Become inwardly the person who feels worthy of devotion, care, and honest closeness. This is where true change happens. Your self-concept shapes your world. The world often treats you the way you have already been treating yourself in secret. So in these 3 days, let your inner dialogue become cleaner, kinder, stronger, and more exact. Be specific. Vague talk creates vague results. If you want a home, feel yourself living there. Enjoy the rooms in your mind. Feel the peace of it. If you want a new role, feel the confidence of that position. Let your inner speech sound like someone already trusted, already welcomed, already established. And do not let this become dry or mechanical. Bring life into it. Bring sensory detail. Bring relief. Bring joy. Bring that quiet smile that rises when something feels real before anyone else can see it. This is where the transformation starts becoming natural. Not forced, not fake. Natural. And when it feels natural, it begins to harden into assumption. That is when the outer world starts moving with surprising speed. You may ask, what if I slip? What if I fall back into old thoughts during the day? Then listen carefully. Do not punish yourself. Do not make the slip bigger by adding shame to it. The moment you notice it, return. That is the work. Not perfection. Return. Again and again, return. Every time you do, you weaken the old pattern and strengthen the new one. This is mental training, and all training becomes easier through repetition. The mind has habits, and for a while the old habits may call your name. Let them call. You do not have to follow. Gently but firmly come back to the inner conversation that matches your chosen state. That is how a new inner life is built. During these 3 days, make this your main discipline. Let everything else become secondary to the quality of your inner speech. Not because life outside does not matter, but because life outside is being shaped from there. You can even use small moments as reminders. When you look at your phone, remember. When you drink water, remember. When you enter a room, remember. Who am I now? How does the fulfilled version of me speak inwardly right here? Ask that and then answer by becoming it. Keep it light, but keep it real. Keep it simple, but keep it alive. And if a hard moment comes, do not treat it as proof against your desire. Treat it as practice. Treat it as the exact place where your new state must stand. That is how inner authority grows. That is how your conversation becomes sovereign. And once it becomes sovereign, circumstances lose the power to write your identity for you. Some will say, but what if my desired life feels impossible? Then hear this with all your attention. Your inner conversation is not limited by what seems probable. It is creative. It moves beyond probability into possibility. The outer world only shows what has already been impressed. It is effect, not cause. If you keep looking at appearances to decide what you may inwardly assume, you remain chained to old evidence. But if you choose your state inwardly first, appearances must eventually answer. This is why setbacks must be handled differently. If something happens that seems to contradict your aim, do not surrender your inner speech to it. Reinterpret it, see it as movement, not failure, see it as part of the bridge, not the end of the road. Many people quit just because the outer scene has not caught up yet. But the visible world is always behind the invisible act. First the seed, then the sprout. First the assumption, then the evidence. Do not reverse the order. Your task is not to force the world. Your task is to remain aligned with the state you have chosen. That alignment changes expectations. Expectations change reactions. Reactions change behavior. Behavior changes outcomes. And behind all of it is a deeper movement, one you do not always see right away. Your consciousness is tuning to a different reality. Just as a receiver picks up one signal instead of another, your mind begins receiving the experience that matches the state you occupy. That is why you must think from the fulfilled desire, not merely about it. This is the line most people never cross. They admire the idea, but they do not inhabit it. The power is in inhabiting it. Stay with me. This point alone can save you years. Now, let us go deeper into practice. Awareness comes first. You cannot change a pattern you never noticed. So begin by observing your thoughts honestly. What are you repeating every day without knowing it? Are you defending yourself in silent arguments that never happened? Are you replaying rejection? Are you explaining to yourself why your life cannot change? Are you telling the same old story in slightly different words? Good. See it clearly. That awareness is progress. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is the first crack of light. After awareness comes choice. This is where training begins in earnest. You do not wait for the mind to improve on its own. You choose the thoughts you will entertain. You choose the inner conversations you will permit to stay. If you want abundance, cultivate the inward tone of expansion, freedom, and support. If you want health, imagine the feeling of strength and ease. If you want love, fill your inner space with scenes of warmth, loyalty, and beautiful connection. But remember, mere positive thinking is not enough. You must think from the end. Do not think about wealth as a distant object. Think as one who already lives with stability and overflow. Do not think about confidence as something to get later. Think as one who already knows their place, their value, and their power. Feel it, walk from it, rest in it. This is not fantasy. It is selection. You are selecting a state from infinite possibilities and occupying it with feeling. And once you occupy it steadily, it begins to express. That is why small tests can help at first. Imagine a simple outcome, something gentle, specific, believable. Feel it as done, then release it, let it come. As you see small inner acts reflected outwardly, your faith grows by experience, not by theory. There are also methods that make this training easier if you use them with sincerity. One is revision. If something painful, limiting, or discouraging happened, do not keep reliving it in its old form. That only keeps feeding it. Instead, revisit it in imagination and reshape it. See the conversation going better. See the outcome turning in your favor. See yourself responding with dignity, strength, and wisdom. Feel the relief of the revised version as though that is what truly happened. Do this gently, but do it clearly. Over time, your relationship with the past begins to change, and as it changes, present experience can shift as well. Another powerful method is what many call the lullaby method. As you drift towards sleep, repeat a short phrase that implies your desire is already fulfilled. Keep it simple. Keep it warm. Thank you for my peaceful life. I'm so grateful for my strong body. Everything in my world is working out beautifully. Say it softly within. Do not chant it like a machine. Let it float into sleep wrapped in feeling. The state before sleep is fertile. The deeper mind is near. What you carry into that moment can echo through the whole night. But again, words are only the vehicle. Feeling is the current. Let the phrase awaken gratitude. Let it bring relief. Let it settle into you as truth. And then let sleep take it deeper than effort ever could. When practiced over these 3 days with real feeling, such simple acts can produce striking movement. not by magic, by law, quiet law, exact law, reliable law. Now, one of the greatest tests in this work is the gap between your inward assumption and your present outer facts. This is where many lose their footing. They imagine once, maybe twice, and then they look around as if the world must instantly confirm the seed they just planted. But the outer world is often showing the result of older assumptions, not the one you have just accepted. So do not panic when appearances lag behind. Do not let the senses overrule the inner act. Your senses report what has been. Your consciousness selects what is becoming. That is why faith matters so deeply here. Not blind hope, not empty wishing. Faith as inner knowing. Faith as settled conviction. Faith as calm occupancy of the new state before evidence arrives. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are touching reality at its source. The visible result is still on its way through the channel of time, but the creative act has already begun. And yes, you may begin to see signs, a strange conversation, a helpful message, a new idea, a sudden opening, a coincidence that feels too perfect to ignore. Welcome these things, but do not cling to them. Let them be gentle indicators, not your foundation. Your foundation must remain inner. This is where detachment becomes holy. Not indifference, not lack of care. Detachment as calm confidence. Detachment as the refusal to stare at the oven every second after placing the bread inside. You know the process is working. You do not need to keep tearing the door open. Rest in the assumption. Live from it. Let the world reorganize around it in its own wise way. And yes, action still matters, but it is not the frantic action born from fear. It is inspired action that flows naturally from your new state. When you truly live inwardly as the fulfilled version of yourself, you will find that the right steps begin to feel obvious, not forced, not heavy, not desperate. You move differently, you speak differently, you notice different things. You say yes to what once frightened you, and no to what once drained you. That is what aligned action feels like. It rises from identity, not from panic. And now we come to something very important, the rhythm of 72 hours. The first 24 hours are the beginning of implantation. Your new assumption enters the deeper mind and starts loosening the old structure. The second 24 hours often feel more intense. This is when the old state may try to reassert itself. Doubt may whisper louder. Circumstances may still look unchanged. Your logical mind may ask, is anything happening at all? But beneath the surface, profound rearrangement is underway. The old pattern is weakening. The new pattern is taking hold. Then, the final 24 hours bring a different feeling. If you have remained steady, the new assumption begins to feel more natural. You are no longer trying so hard to believe. You simply begin to know. The state settles. It becomes less like practice and more like identity. And sometimes, right before this inner shift completes, there may come a moment that looks like total contradiction. Do not be fooled. Often the old state makes its last appearance with the most noise. What seems like the darkest point may be the threshold of change. This is why you must not quit there, not there. That is often where the whole pattern turns. During these final hours, life may begin moving in ways your conscious mind could never have planned. People shift, circumstances soften, closed paths loosen, ideas arrive. A problem that looked solid begins to break apart, or a strange delay leads you to an opening you never would have found otherwise. None of this is random. A new assumption sends ripples through your whole field of experience. It touches your mood, your posture, your speech, your choices, your expectations, and the responses of others. What looks outside like coincidence is often the outer answer to an inner shift, but you must not watch anxiously every second asking, has it happened yet? Is this the sign? Is that the sign? That habit pulls you back into waiting. Instead, keep returning to your chosen state. Morning by morning, rise from it. Step into the day from it. Let your inner tone remain faithful. Think of an actor in a powerful role. They do not step in and out of character every few minutes. They stay in it. That is how the role gains life. Your assumption must be treated the same way. not as pretend, but as occupancy. Live in it. When challenge appears, do not collapse into the old version of yourself. Use the challenge as proof that this is the exact place your new identity must now stand. Every contradiction becomes an invitation to remain aligned. And when you do, something changes. You stop seeing obstacles as enemies. You begin to recognize them as moments of reinforcement, part of the bridge leading you forward. This changes the whole emotional climate of the journey. Now you are no longer begging reality to change. You are cooperating with a law already in motion. There is an exactness to this process that should give you confidence. The law is not confused. It does not favor one person and reject another. It answers sustained assumption. That is all. In the same way that gravity does not sometimes work and sometimes stop, this principle reflects what is consistently held in consciousness. The problem is not with the law. The problem is usually mixed signals. One moment belief, the next moment fear, 1 hour confidence, the next hour collapse. If you hold opposing states, you delay the clarity of expression. So these 3 days are a sacred experiment in precision. Each thought, each emotional reaction, each inner conversation either supports your chosen reality or weakens it. There is no true neutral. That is why discipline matters. Not harshness, not tension. Discipline as clean alignment, as careful maintenance of state. When you wake, align. When you speak inwardly, align. When you fall asleep, align. And if something pulls you away, return. Quickly, lovingly, firmly. This level of precision is not meant to burden you, it is meant to free you. Because when you understand that the law responds to what you steadily assume, you stop wandering in confusion. You stop hoping that maybe life will surprise you one day. You start choosing. You start knowing. You start living as one who is not at the mercy of shifting appearances. And that shift in self-awareness is itself a miracle. Because now you are no longer a passive observer of life. You are a conscious participant in its shaping. Stay with this. Practice it honestly for 3 days. Guard your inner conversation. Let it become cleaner, simpler, warmer, stronger, more fulfilled. And then watch, not with strain, with quiet certainty. The world will begin to answer the voice you have finally chosen to believe.